Yo, welcome
welcome
back
back.
to
Welcome
another
back.
episode of Lasso and Enos Vamos.
Yes, sir.
How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing great, Jay. How
Yeah.
about yourself?
I'm good, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, this
Excited.
podcast is somewhat special because we're gonna meet somebody new.
Yes, sir, finally.
Say somewhat because we gotta know why she's special.
Yeah. What up, Ricky? What up? How are you? I know you guys probably can't see him, but Ricky's actually being a kind man today and stepping back so somebody else can step in, and which is, in this case, our very special guest. Our special guest today is a young woman who stands out because she is in a field that you guys won't believe. That only, I believe, the status that I found was about 3% of women only do this, and about the rest of the people are just men. And I don't know if you guys want to guess, but write down below in the comments, let us know what career you think I'm talking about, and let me know what you guys think at the end of this video. But without further ado, let's meet our guest. This is Sandra Bravo.
Yay.
Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
We're happy to have you here.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Cool.
Alrighty. So yeah, Sandra, we are excited to have you here, especially when Junior told me about you. He made it seem that you were one interesting person, so I needed to know a little bit more about you, and that's why I was like, yeah, you gotta bring her here. She has to come to the podcast, and especially being first guest. Thank you for coming for that.
Yes, thank you.
It's an honor.
Thank you, appreciate that. So with that, we're gonna start this off. Can you please tell us a little bit about yourself? Who is Sandra?
I'm Latina. I grew up with a mother that was single. She always empowered me and told me I can do anything I set my mind to do. She basically encouraged me, told me either you work or you go to school, so you choose. First I chose to go work, then I chose school, and I kind of had to leave. Came back in 2015, and then that's when I started my career.
Okay, so after that, you kind of, I'm guessing you basically went to working. You worked first after, let's say, high school?
Yes.
Okay. So after this, Gina's gonna ask you basically where did you go from working from after high school, and what is your career now after you went to school, after your actually job in the field?
Yeah, so pretty much, what did you do? Actually, what do you do for a living?
I actually work with vehicles, so I'm automotive technician.
Dang, that's crazy. Oh, this is so exciting. Yeah, so this is one of the big reasons why she stands out to us, because Sandra here is a woman that takes a role that not many women will take, and so like I said, she's one of the few, and I think she stands out in that way. But so you work in auto tech, so that's your like that is your job title as of right now, or?
Yes. My job title is mobile service technician.
Mobile service technician, that's it. Yeah, so
That is nice. So
Yeah.
first, what school you attended for how long?
I went to Kaiser High School. Oh, for the
Yeah, for automotive.
Yeah.
But either way, Kaiser High School.
Kaiser High
Where's
School.
that located?
in Fontana.
Fontana. No, I don't
Kentucky.
really. The only high school I know Fontana is Fontana High School. I don't know why. I think that's the only one that actually came towards San Bernardino when it was like athletes, soccer against soccer. You know, our sports teams against each other. So that's really the only high school I know from Fontana.
Yeah.
So after that, what you went to do your actual career now?
I went to Chaffey College back in 2015.
I'm guessing Fontana. I know there's one in Fontana, right?
Rancho Cucamonga.
Oh,
They have the auto program there.
oh, really? So Fontana doesn't have it?
They
Or
have
that
it at
you
the
know
high
of?
school. So it's through the high school.
Okay, Rancho Cucamonga. So Chafee is basically where Rancho Cucamonga as like almost like here in San Bernardino we have adult school, but a high school actually still taught a class there.
Right, they teach
Chafee's more there's like a community college, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so like for us it will be like Valley College. San
Yeah,
Bernardino Valley
there's
College.
the reason why I asked that because I know there's one in Yucaipa, so I was like, oh, you went to Yucaipa, did you go? But hey, you went to Rancho, that's good. How long did that take?
It only took 1 year,
Oh man.
and then I got 2 certificates in automotive. Then from there, they recruited me. My school recruited me to be a instructional assistant for one of the instructors.
Right.
So I became a tool room attendant while working for like a loop shop where I was a loop tech.
Nice.
So this is right after you finished your program as a auto technician, or?
During the program, I was doing the loop tech, and then after the program, I started working as an assistant.
Okay. And how long did you do that for? Like,
For about 3 years. The assistant job for
Yeah.
about 3 years.
wow. That's amazing. That's crazy. Like, so as you started, like, you say this was just right after you got done from Chafee, and you basically did that, like you were already done with school.
Not really. I actually continued on to get my associate's degree.
Okay.
So I did that, and it took a long time, so I had to work and go to school at the same time. And I actually had 2 jobs, and I went to school.
Dang, that's amazing.
Wow. Yeah. How old were you, if you don't mind asking, at that point of time, doing 3 things at one point?
When I started, I was 25. Possibly at that time, I was 26.
Dang.
Yeah, so no excuses out there,
Yeah.
you know, you see this lady here, she's actually tried. 25 is a good age still to do something in life, and basically she did. With that, I know that you went to school for being an automotive tech, but what sparked that to actually take that course?
Honestly, I've always been interested in cars. I grew up with my dad loving cars, he would sit me on his hood and just ask me random questions about the cars, and I just get this really intensive joy and happiness when I'm around cars. And when I'm working on them, it just feels like I accomplished something.
Nice.
And I didn't know this, but when I was a baby, my mom said, and I was in her room, she said that she used to go riding with my dad while they were on the motorcycle.
No, nice
So
motorcycle.
it's kind of, I feel like it was kind of meant to be.
Yeah, I mean, from your story that you're telling us is like you were in the womb and you already knew something about automotive at that point in time. Yes, it's a motorcycle, but you're really correct.
And then back in 2018, I took a course for motorcycle, and I kind of took it with my mom's blessing, I guess. But she was upset about it, so I never spoke to her about it. And when I took that course, I felt just like alive. I felt like that's one of the highlights of my life. That was one of the best days and feelings of life, basically.
Right.
And I felt like I've done that before. It was really strange. I'm not sure if anybody has ever felt this, but with anything else besides writing. But I felt like I've been there and I've done that, and it was just me on the road and just nothing else was around.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I could elaborate a little bit. I don't know if you have something to elaborate on that story, Jay, but you're gonna trip out when I tell you, kind of, because it's almost like what you went through. But do you have anything to say, Jimmy?
I just like going back, like, yeah, like you were familiarized with everything, like it almost came naturally to you, like you said, you know, like que sientas the velocity, the speed, the wind, all that, like that's what like takes you back, right? And that's crazy to come to. So you found this out.
After my mother and I had a conversation, because I basically expressed how I felt that day, and then she kind of said, well, you know what, this and this happened, and it could be that's why you feel that way, and that's why you love cars so much.
Oh, that is crazy. Yeah, that's trippy. I mean, you're the first that I hear that tells me a story like that, pero that's crazy. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, for my family, I don't have any mechanics. I'm a small family. My dad was a construction worker, but my dad did the same thing. He would put me on top of the hood as when I was a baby and just let me sit there. And I actually have a picture. My fiance has seen it. She's like, huh. So when you said that, I was like, wow, like I wouldn't put one and one together, that maybe that's where I came in love with cars, because I am an automotive technician. Not doing it at the moment, but it did come from there. And the motorcycle thing, I actually have a motorcycle license as well. So I did take it, but it was just too expensive. Just for a bike that I wanted. It wasn't a Harley. It's more of, we call it, I don't know if you call it the same, a crotch rocket.
Okay.
So that's what I wanted, but it was just too expensive, and I was like, no, like, you know, for that money I can get a car, but I still have my motorcycle license. So that's kind of my story there.
That's nice.
Dang. Makes me want to get my motorcycle license.
Well, you got the big rig one already. You beat us kind of. We gotta watch out for you now.
I have the Class B, only halfway there.
And you have a Class B? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, congratulations.
Good hustler right there. That is nice. Dang, so I look at the pongan, huh?
And I'll watch out. She's gonna take over the podcast pretty soon, probably. Okay, guys.
Hasta la despedida. Hasta luego. It was nice knowing you guys.
Right.
No, that's cool. Like, so tell us how it is to be a woman working in a male dominant, occupation.
It's great. There's people that are really, really helpful, and I've experienced in my past when I first started, maybe like back in 2016, I have had struggles where some people are not open-minded about it, but then I just go work and show them what I can do, and then they kind of just I gain their respect.
Right, yeah.
So instead of backlashing or seeing it in a negative way, I flip it and see it in a positive way. And I basically, I don't show them, I show myself that I'm capable.
Okay.
And
yeah,
I never see myself as, oh, I am a woman in this field. I see myself as, I am a person and I'm capable. It might take me a little bit longer, but no matter what it is, I'm gonna get it done.
Okay. Mind of a mamba right there. If y'all know, if you know, you know. So
Yes, definitely. You have a Mamba mentality. But do you think that, with that being said, what you're saying, what has helped you, what you think can tell a female to succeed on the male dominant? Is that all? You think you might be missing something that you're like, oh, well, if I reflect back me being in that situation, being that female, if I can give a advice to them, what would it be?
I would have to say that I had to grow a lot, because sometimes some things would offend me, but I had to learn that you don't have to take everything personal, and you just kind of have to sit back and laugh, or even just, depending on what it is, kind of laugh at, chuckle at what is being said, or just kind of, meditate about it and say, yeah, they didn't mean anything, no harm. It's just guy talk, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could put a little bit onto it that, like you said, you almost treated it like it was just a job and you wanted the job to get done. So yeah, that's a good point. Almost like just think about it that way. It doesn't matter if you're a male or a female. At the end of the day, somebody has to do the job, and if you love what you're doing, you're capable of doing it.
Right. But people, you're always gonna learn something new. You never know everything.
Right. Yeah.
So anybody around is helpful.
Makes sense.
And I would just say for females to have an open mind and know that people are there to help you, even if you feel intimidated or if they feel like they're not gonna be able to do the job. It can be done.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. If it takes minutes longer, hours longer, you get it done. Every day you'll get faster.
Yeah, so in a way that's kind of like you saying that that's a good way for females, not just in this industry that you're doing, but like in any industry that you might think that, you know, it's dominated by men. Like it's a good way to have that mentality to succeed in that in that field. Because like you said, like it's very easy to put somebody down and you don't know this person, right? You could say something that probably to you it doesn't mean nothing that harshful, but to you don't know the person that could how they could take it and how they could react. Maybe you by saying like maybe just messing around like, hey, like nah, you didn't do that right. Maybe just your face expression, you know,
can trigger someone.
Yeah, it could trigger it in a way to like just stop that already, like stop that career, stop pursuing what you're already doing, and it sucks because like you don't know if that person had a potential to do something great in that field. In your case, you know, the automotive, that's a good way to put it. You know, like to say, hey, succeed in this way. You know, no, just get the job done and focus on like how you said it, like, you know, don't let anything get to you.
Right. I have a friend that I would like to give a shout out to. His name is Joseph Moreno.
Shout out.
He's encouraged me throughout my whole automotive career, and he always tells me, man, Sandra, no matter what happens to you or what you experience, you're on top of it. You don't give up, and you're just there.
Nice. Yeah.
Like whether it's positive or negative, the things I encounter, he says you keep trying. You're not afraid to for change. You're not afraid to move forward and be better.
Yeah, man, that's some good advices, man. Yeah, that's cool. And that you always had him to like guide you through this.
Yeah, and I actually didn't meet him in automotive. We met in English class.
Oh,
and
wow.
He actually read one of my essays because we had to read each other's essays to make corrections.
Right.
3 people had to read your essays, and he was one of them that read my essay. And one of my essays was about automotive. I think it had to do with careers. And then he says, hey, you're in automotive? And I said, yes. He says, so am I. But I never saw him because he worked in the mornings at Toyota. And then in the evenings he went to school. So we really didn't cross paths in the automotive because our schedules were the opposite.
Okay.
Yeah, so we ended up meeting there, and then from there I started noticing him in the class. When I would go say I needed to work or something, I would notice, oh, there he is. That's my classmate from English class. But till this day, he calls me, checks up on me. It makes me a little bit sad. He'll ask me, oh, how's work? You need to try your best. You need to link up with people and learn from them. Do everything you can. And then he tells me about his job. And he's doing great too.
That's good. Qué bueno.
Yeah.
Man, see, that's a great friend right there, because since day one you could kind of tell like he took you under his wing, and still to this day, like you said, like just checking upon you, hey, don't give up, don't stop pushing, keep hustling, keep learning, and he knowing that he wants the best for you. That's
and even if I didn't work with him directly, he was always encouraging me to find people to teach me, to find people to help me out.
Hey, well, that's an amazing friend right there.
He is, definitely.
Yes, I think he's a big part of your life, maybe, but I do see more to that, even though you maybe haven't realized it. When did you get that fire in you? Before you met him, I know it comes before you met him, especially because you're like saying, hey, I had 3 things at one point in my life and I was capable of doing it. So what age do you think you got that fire from, that Mamba mentality?
Honestly, since I was in high school, I used to hustle. I used to make purses, like custom purses, and I used to sell them. I used to sell candy, and it was weird. My neighbors would ask me, "Do you have an Etsy account?" Because along with Otto, I love fashion. It's just, if I could have a side job, it would be something that has to do with like a clothing line or a line of fashion.
Okay. So you're blowing me away. If I'm gonna have to link up with you then to get advices, because nobody knows, they do know. But Rootless is actually gonna be my clothing line coming up.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'll link up with you whenever you get a chance. Get some brain ideas from you and go from there. But I mean, there has to be. I know you were a hustler, but there has to be something else that motivated you. Like,
To be how I am.
yeah. Like, we know you like to hustle, but like, I don't know, like for example, us or me, I use music as a drive. So music, and I almost go with the question that we were trying to ask you. Did you choose this profession to be done because the job is done independently? But it's almost like that music feel, it's like that pushes me. So it's almost like I'm trying to find out what helped you to get that push, to never give up, to always do what you wanted, to don't think or don't. I mean, it's not really being selfish, but you're almost putting it as like, it doesn't matter who tells me this, who tells me that, I'm gonna do it. Even though if it's my family that puts me down, if it's my friends, yes, I'm gonna feel maybe that maybe everybody's winning, but you still push, you still do it. I mean, there has to be something. I use a resource as music. What is it that you think you used?
I feel like my mother, she's the one that pushed me to do better for myself, because she always told me, whatever you set your mind to do, you can do. And she always spoke to my aunts about me, and she would say, my daughter, anything she says she's gonna do, she does it.
Okay.
Anything that she sets her mind to do, I know that she does. She gets it done, and she does it. No matter what it takes, she does whatever she sets her mind.
Okay. So do you think that mode comes from your mom? And then when we met you, and I'm saying all this, guys, because when I first met her, I saw her phone. And on her phone, she had an agenda already with 3 things that she wanted in life. So I already knew she was that person that will get stuff done without even meeting her actual background yet. So that was a question that I had to ask, because I was like, all right, you already have this in your phone and an agenda. I know you have not potential, it's not potential. You already have that drive that somebody actually learns, because obviously you're not born with it. So that's why I'm being very specific on that question, to help the viewers, help us understand, especially in the female side of it, of like, okay, where did it come from? A mom? Yes, definitely. It's a big motivation to get that from.
Yeah, she's a strong lady. You can share what I had on my 3 items.
How about you?
Yeah,
Share?
you share
You
them.
tell us, because I know one of them for sure. I know one of them.
Yes, guys, that one, I know guys are gonna be dropping jaws right now.
Mi,
Oh, now I'm shy.
mi respetos aquí, because if Sandra accomplished her one of her goals, that's it. I'm done. No, ya
The
estuvo.
mic drops for June.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. I'm gonna put my head down.
No. Go ahead. Tell us.
So I have a Nismo GTR,
Woof.
and then I have a beautiful house. I mean, beautiful can be perceived as anything for anyone, but in my eyes, that house is beautiful. And then I have a ring at the bottom of the three, and it's it's a ring.
Yes, guys,
It's
you
solid.
better have that 3-job mentality. I can tell you that right now, because it's bigger than this little ball here.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why she wants the GTR, because that rock is heavy. That's the only car that can have that horsepower to push it.
Yeah, reference that. If you find out how much that car is, then you know what you have to work for.
There you go.
No, it's not like that.
No.
I want to get it done. I want to
You
get my
will.
own GTR.
You will. Hey, I know it. Just how Junior said. Like when we met, like we have a mutual friend. You know, that's how we met. And it was like as soon as you started talking about like your profession and stuff like that, I was like, whoa, like I've never heard these terms coming out of a female's like a female voice. I was like, whoa, like did she just say what I think she said? Like in my mind, I was like, she said something about mechanic. Like she said something about like a tool, and I'm like, I only talk about guys to guys about that, like. And it's like it stands out so much when you say like, oh yeah, I just grabbed the tire, and I grabbed the impact gun and blah 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 and took it off, then we just got her off the hoist, like dang, this girl definitely knows what she's doing, like she knows more than me, I'll tell you that much.
I doubt it.
No, that's cool, like that's very inspiring to know that you have those goals and their focus, like there's nothing wrong with having it like at the house, and llegas a tu casa after a long day of work, and the first thing you see is your goals, in a whiteboard or in a goal board, hasta en el refri, and you have it right on your phone. So it's like, what time is it? Time to hustle.
Yeah.
And that's very cool. Like that's one thing I took from you. That I was like, man, that's inspiring, because your focus is, like you said, like your road could be bumpy, your road could go sideways, but overall where you want to get to. And that's very cool. Like, and so like at the same time, like that shows a lot from you. Like, would you consider yourself being like more of a leader or a follower, like and just in general, like?
I consider myself a leader, and I consider myself that, as I told you guys during dinner, I adapt to my environment, and I try to make noise, but I try to kind of stand back at the same time, because I like to observe as he noticed. Yeah. So it's more like I like to kind of like, sit back, observe, but I consider myself a leader, and I feel I have good ideas, and I'm open to other people's ideas, and I'm open to adapting and being able to communicate.
That's very good, because like you said, you're open to ideas, and you know how to adapt. That's putting your ego aside to not just say, oh, I'm a leader, look at me.
Mm-hmm.
It's being humble in that way. Like, the way you chose to be a leader is a very humble way to do it, and that's very nice. Not a lot of people can do that. I met a lot of people that are successful, but they're kind of douches at the same time. Like, because they're so high up in their horse that they feel like they're untouchable, and it's like nobody can approach them to say, hey, like, just have a quick question. We come to them because you're a leader. We see you as a leader. We see you like you're knowledgeable, and when you come up to them with a simple little question, like they're like, oh no, I'm too good for you. Like, no.
Like a baboon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's very nice though. Like you chose to be in that way. Like I know you don't choose how you're. That's just you. Like you're a very nice person. You're very, like you said, you adapt. You adapt to whatever they put you to do, and the way you do it is so nice because you're humble. You're approachable, and that's what's gonna get you even further down. And I feel like maybe this is what your friends were saying, like, hey, meet new people, learn from new people. Mm-hmm. The way he's been guiding you is the way you've been developing to do that, and that's tying it all down, like
mm-hmm.
to make you a nice person and be this type of hustler, like to where you're kind, caring, and giving. Like that's amazing.
Sometimes I feel like I think of others before I think of myself.
There you go.
But I've been having to,
there's
retract from that and kind of, when it comes to my personal life.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with you being a little, like we have to call it selfish because that's just how it is, and it's okay. But sometimes you have to take care of yourself in order for you to take care of those who you love and care about.
Mm-hmm.
So that's very cool. Like I take so much from this conversation that I'm like almost getting blown away. But one of the main things that stood out for me is just that, like, you're very kind, you're very approachable, and like you said, you adapt. That's just like the cherry on top, like for you, because at the same time you're being kind, and for you it's helping you to learn and taking knowledge, and you're sharing the knowledge too. You're not just keeping it to yourself. So that's what's gonna get you places.
Thank you.
Sure is. We kind of already went through this question a little bit, but there's going to be more to share with the young viewers. The question is, what would you like to tell all the individuals or young adults out there who face adversities? And it could be your job related, or it could just be maybe when you were younger and you were like, oh, this is what I went through, but how did you push through it? Yeah, like anything, like any young adult that face adversities, like anything, like for example, I know in the mechanic world, if you don't have a year of experience, you can't be a mechanic. You have to be a lube tech for a little bit. For me, I did go to high school as a automotive elective, so I was fortunate for that teacher to actually teach me the tools. Some was a little bit advanced, but at the end of the day, even with my technical school being done, when I went to go get a job, it wasn't easy because they were like, oh, well, you don't have the 5 years, 3 years, 1 year experience, and unfortunately this industry, and I think like any other job, they want to see that those years first and finding out what you're capable of.
Right. I would say to not give up. Some dealerships or some places, they require for ASCs, and yes, school counts as 1 year experience, so that's just 1 year.
Right.
Usually they want 2 years. So yes, usually they start you off as a lube tech, and then you just start getting your ASCs, you start moving up, they start trusting you, they start giving you little jobs here and there, and then a technician will bring you under their wing, and then you'll start, like later on, you're gonna look up and it's gonna be like, oh, I'm a full technician now, and I have to do hours now.
Right.
I'm not just working for this guy, he's buying me lunch. It's like this is me, I have to get it done.
Okay.
But I would say just have a lot of patience, and sometimes you have to get a pay cut to go somewhere else where you know you're gonna grow a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say don't get discouraged. If you need to do that to be in a better place in the future, go ahead.
Okay.
Sometimes that's what we have to do.
Okay. It's almost like don't get too comfortable. Even though yes, this job you have a good time, but if you want to grow, you have to be uncomfortable situations for you to actually grow or to get that pay that you want at one point in time.
Right. Or even don't be afraid of change. Because I've worked in places where it's all makes and models,
Mm-hmm.
and I've gone to places where it's just one model, and I that's one thing about me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not afraid. If they ask me, can you do this job, and I don't know how to do it, I just do it.
Right.
I'll look at my resources, I'll ask if I need to, and I get it done because I have to get it done.
Good. So don't give up, guys. Don't give up.
Yeah.
Keep pushing.
Yeah.
Keep it pushing. Yeah, like, just if I could share really quick, like for me, one of it was you know how Junior has mentioned it. I'm a little bit on the shorter side, but you know, I learned to accept myself and love myself like that. Like, I'm good. But you know, a lot of the times that was the difficult things for my career. As you could say, a lot of joking around went around, like, hey, are you gonna have a booster seat? Like, hey, like, you know, no alcanzan los pedales, you know, stuff like that. I'm like, man, look at me, like, I don't need none of that,
Yeah.
you know. And I didn't let it get to me. Like, it was just more like, man, you guys are funny. Like, even though some people probably mention it to me, like, to discourage me, I didn't let it get to me. And gracias a Dios, like, I'm very patient. And helped me, and I got through it, stuck through it, and here we are now. You know.
Yeah. Having the Class A license with the big old trailer on the back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So like, also like, I'm a little curious, like in your field, would you say other coworkers get like intimidated by you, like because they don't usually see a girl or a woman, you know, working in their environment? Like, you think like they feel a little intimidated, like once they start seeing you, you know, getting down, working and stuff like that?
Honestly, that would have to be more neutral about that one, that answer. I feel when it comes to that, it's gonna be more internal, not for me, but for the person.
Right.
So depending on their environment and how they grew up, or what their upbringings were that their parents showed them, that's what their perception's gonna be. But
Gotcha.
to be honest, if I ever felt that way, I ignored that, because I felt like that's not a positive thing. So let me just set it aside, and I'm here to work, and this is what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna get it done, regardless
Right.
of the noise.
Yeah. That's good. A good way to put it. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, like, that's good. Like, and it's not avoiding it either. It's not avoiding, like, it's just the right way to doing it. Like, approaching the situation. Like, you know, like, do you feel like you're the one that has to open up first to them? Like throughout the expanded career that you've been in your career, right?
I feel like I've had to learn how to smile more, because I'm kind of, even if it doesn't seem like I'm kind of shy. So I've had to learn how to smile more, because if I do my serious face, I don't look very friendly. So I feel like the smile has helped me to make a better impression or more comfort.
Right.
I've been being mindful of that, and I need to continue to have a smile because it just makes it better as well.
Yeah.
I feel like smiling makes people feel like smiling, and then they get happy, and it's just gonna be a great.
Yeah, it does. Like honestly, it's contagious. You know, naturally, like if you're a person that's shy, like I'm a shy person too. I believe Jay's a little shy as well. But we're at our stage where what has to get done it has to get done, regardless of our shyness or not. But like you said, like a good smile just makes it better, makes it feel better, and like like you smiling now that's
Makes it more
contagious. Yeah,
pleasant, yes.
like man, gives me energy. Like hey, this is fun.
Yes, definitely. I have to work on that as well. Fortunately, in
We all
my
do.
case, but hey, I think I'm working on it. From there, like us, we were basically intrigued. So every time you meet a woman or a male, do they get intrigued for the career path he went to?
The first, when it's females, the first thing they say is they open their mouth and like, no way, because usually maybe I'll be dressed up like for a party or with heels, or maybe just a little bit dressed up and then with sneakers, but I have my makeup on, my hair's done, I have eyelashes on. So actually, yes, they find it very. They keep asking me, "Are you really a mechanic? Are you really a mechanic?" No, really. And I'm like, yeah. And then they're kind of like, wow, that's so amazing. You're how do they tell me? They tell me in Spanish. Aquí a mi nadie que no voy a encontrar marido or something, kind of like, what are they
Almost
gonna
like-
do for you
Yeah.
if you can do everything for you? And then it's kind of like, no, it's not gonna be like that. I'm gonna be like, yeah, you can work on my car. Hey, I have a flat tire. Can you come change it? Just to, but I wouldn't be like, oh no, I can do it. I mean, unless there's they can't come
Right.
and help, then obviously,
Yeah, in an emergency situation, you will go ahead and handle it. Well, we do have still the men part, or you think you finished the whole men part on the intrigue, because you did give a little bit more on the woman's side.
Yeah.
So how about after the break, we maybe give a little bit more on the men's side when you meet men's. All right, guys, we're gonna go to break. Left off was women and men usually intrigued by your career path. So we were on the part of men. Are men intrigued in your career path that you've chosen?
yes, they are intrigued. They like the fact that they can have a car girl, but I feel that they don't like the territory part. They like the pros, but they can't handle the cons.
Oh.
Yeah, it's almost like what you
Yeah.
were saying, like, hey, like, you expect to get that tire changed if my guy's with me or a man is around me, but if he's not, then I'm willing to do it. It's almost just to kind of like,
It's almost like I can give you that that title where I need you, but if you're not there, I can still get it done.
great, yes.
Nice. So would you say, well, now with that being said, like would you say, or my question to you is, are because of what you do you hold certain expectations to men, like for like, or your significant other? I don't know.
When it comes to dating,
Yeah, when it comes to dating, like.
honestly, I might sound.
Okay, you're a girl that knows what she wants, so
Yeah.
I think it's just,
I might
Hey.
sound a little bit mean, maybe not, but in my eyes, I would prefer a man that knows about automotive or knows about, you know, being able to do certain things on his vehicle.
Nice.
Okay.
Well said.
What?
So ya sabe.
Yeah, but to just ease it out, would you mind if a guy just takes care of this situation, no matter if he does it, if he pays for it, have somebody do it, but it's more of like, as long as he gets the
He takes
whatever
the
needs
lead,
to
like,
get done. It doesn't matter how he gets it done, but as long as it's done. Or you feel like, no, I actually would like to see him physically doing the job.
I guess I can be open to that.
Okay. That's good.
Not bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't be closed-minded about that because sometimes there's no time, and as we all know that people that are in the auto industry and people that have businesses or people that have jobs and are responsible, we know that time is money and time is valuable, and you can't just spend your time on careless things or
I wouldn't say carelessly, but it's like you got way more important things to do that maybe it makes that part of it easier if you just distribute that job to somebody else
Right.
or to something particular. But yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
And but kind of you did significant other, Jade. So
Yeah.
I don't think so because again you're full of goals. But you think you reached your goals already?
no, I don't think I've reached my goals. I still have several other goals that I would like to accomplish, and I'm working on them as we speak.
All right.
That's awesome.
So once again, you're doing probably 5 jobs right now instead of just one.
It's like that shit making me rethink everything about myself. Man, what am I doing with my life? Man, that is so cool to hear. Like, you know, last but not least, we would like to see an increase of females, you know, to get out there and you know, not be afraid of taking on like
A role
of yeah, like anything that it seems unusual for a woman to do. Like, what would you tell them? Like,
I would just say believe. If you can believe it, it can be done.
nice.
And do not give up. If you have to take one class at a time because you're the only one that works, you support your family, or you have to help support your family, as in your immediate mom and dad, then however long it's gonna take, but as long as you get it done, it doesn't matter how many years go by, because in the end, they're gonna be happy. The person in whatever they do, they're gonna be happy. So I would say happiness is better, to be happy at your job than to be unhappy.
That is very, very, very true and inspiring. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Man, I wish I had somebody that, you know, would kind of like tell me almost exactly in your words, but you know, back when I was a youngster, you know, like to say, hey, like, ¿por qué no haces esto? And don't be afraid of giving it your all. And when it seems like, you know, it's going down, don't feel like giving up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had, gracias a Dios, like I had Jay, you know, for most of my life, and I'm very thankful to having him, because he's been a big part of my life and inspiring me to do things like work on my own car. You know, I did go to auto technician for a few, like, couple months, maybe I think it was like 2 years. And I didn't get to finish it, but I did learn some stuff. But what I didn't learn from him, I mean from school, I learned from Jay, and it was it was like, hey, like when I was already frustrated, when you get to the point where you're frustrated, you already did this, you did that, and you're checking here, you have to take it apart, put it back together, and it's still like something's wrong with the car, and you have to like take it all apart again. He would say, yeah, that's the way to do it. Don't lose your mind. Like, keep looking. Have you looked for this noise around this area? Have you checked this other area? I almost kind of wanted him to just like, don't you see how like my frustration is like, just because he had like the tools and everything to like make it easy for me, but that's not what he wanted for me. He could have easily just plugged it in, put it in the computer, and said, "Oh, it's this." But that wasn't his point, and I didn't get it until like after my frustration, after time, like I kind of just sat down and I was like, wow, like I know how to do this because of how Jay taught me, and I know now not to go the easy way out. And it's fun because now it's fun for me because you get to learn like new things that were a challenge. Now they're not. Now they're like, oh yeah, we're just gonna take the engine out real quick. And not everybody could say that with a smile on their face. You get me? So, no, that's very cool, and I at least we appreciate that you have something to say for these young girls, boys, and it doesn't matter. Just like you said, it's person in generals that are feeling down for whatever career path they took. Like it helps in any career path to hear those type of words. And so again, Sandra, we just like to thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for
having
Yes,
me.
thank you for coming, being our first guest again. We
Yes.
appreciate it. We're looking forward to meeting you more, to know this great person that you are. We do have Ricky on the side, so I did want to kind of ask him if he had any questions maybe for you. Ricky, you have any for her?
Yeah, it did come up with a two-part question, I guess. Well, just like, I was curious, like, as a person that probably gets this all the time, like, considering the fact that, it's been tossed around the whole podcast, like, do you yourself identify with the term of, like, female in a male-dominant workplace? Like, is that something that you view yourself as, like this perfectly describes my situation, or do you feel like it's more of, like, an overused thing that you wish wasn't around type of thing? Because I know that a lot of people agree with the whole, like, that whole title, and a lot of people don't really feel too comfortable being told constantly or like as a reminder that they're a female in the workplace. So I am like, I did want to know.
As I mentioned before, I've never really looked at myself in that way, and in the beginning of my career I wouldn't wear makeup, so I was more natural and put my hair up and put it in a bun, put it in a ponytail. And then as time went by, I kind of was like, no, I need to be myself. I need to if I want to wear makeup, I need to wear makeup. This is who I am. I need to accept myself. So I had to do some soul searching and accept who I am and where I'm placing myself. And from that point on, I really never saw myself as I am a female in a male dominant world. I just saw myself as I am a person and I'm here to perform a job and I'm here to learn, and any resource that's around me, I'm willing to be open to take knowledge from them.
And then I also did want to know, like, how do you feel, like, obviously having your point of view about that notion existing, like, in general, like that being a thing?
I feel like, as I mentioned earlier, depending on the environment and the upbringing of people around, those are the people that might have that perspective, but I didn't grow up like that. I grew up with my mom telling me I can do anything I set my mind to do. And she was a business owner. She had her own home. She bought 2 homes, and she did it all on her own. So it was kind of like there's no difference.
Mhm.
Anything can be done. You just have to want to do it. Yeah, I love my mom. She made me who I am. Even till this day. Yes, you know, people have differences, and some of the things she tells me repetitively may be annoying to me, but in the end she doesn't mean no harm. She just wants to encourage me to become better every day.
Thank you.
A better me.
What is your mom's name?
Hilaria.
Shout out to Ilaria. Thank
Hilaria.
you. Shout out to her.
You raised her very, very well.
I also wanted to thank another friend of mine.
Go
Give
for
a
it.
shout out.
This is all you.
Well, before you shut them out, where can we find you? If you can go ahead and look at the shout out as well. What's your IG, Instagram, whatever you have?
It's Nismo_girl.
Hey,
Nice.
alrighty. So who we shouting out now?
Yeah.
His name is Justin McMorris, and he's been in my career since 2008 because I started back in 2008. I left, came back in 2015, but he's been there for me as well. And I can say that he's like one of the most cleanest technicians I've ever met.
Yeah.
He's very structured. He has a beautiful wife and he has kids,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like they have everything they've always wanted
Mm-hmm.
because both of them are a team, and his automotive background and his structure of his working out and getting stuff done
Mm-hmm.
just has helped them build and become who they are. And she actually has a hair care business, and she sells shampoo.
Nice.
That she created. Like she created from like scratch. Like she chose the ingredients and all that.
I don't know about all that.
I don't know.
I
Hey,
just- She just has her own business.
that's a tough. That's hard to do. But hey, shout out to you.
Yes. Shout out.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Keep
Be
it pushing.
inspiration for everyone.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
my inspiration, both of them, and Joseph. They inspire me.
Que bueno, man. That's good, man. See, you're full. You're surrounded by some good people.
Yeah, you're
Thanks.
surrounded by leaders.
Yeah.
Leaders, I guess. I mean, I've heard the term you have to go with leaders to be a leader as well. Just to learn, be uncomfortable, even though at one point you're always going to be comfortable. But if you meet another leader, he can teach you something, and just have that open mind. As you said, you really have to be open, because if you're not, then you're just really shutting yourself down at the end of the day. So, yeah, that's a good point. Any questions you have for us?
No.
Okay.
Actually, what do you do now? Okay.
So like I said, I was in the automotive field for 10 years. With that, I was running the business as well. From there, COVID hit. We decided to go ahead and sell it, and then that kind of helped me to what you said, not be comfortable anymore, and actually go for my own goals. Because it wasn't about being comfortable in a sense. It was more like I did everything as to help others to have a job, sustain a job, and for me as well, right? But what I loved, it was that I did everything. So it wasn't like, oh, nomás fixing a car or ordering parts or doing paperwork or doing business, doing checks, doing all of that, doing forgetting the term, the business side of it, accounting. I did that as well. So that's why I don't think I was leaving, because at that point in time I was still learning. It was almost like it was working but learning at the same time how to run a business, because I was capable of not capable of doing it, but I was able to actually do it with somebody else money.
Right.
In reality,
And
that's what it was.
versatile.
Yes, but I didn't ever be like selfish and be like, well, I'm gonna do this for my benefit. It was always, like you said, always looking for other people's benefits as well, because at the end of the day, I mean, you need people around you to actually succeed.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was what I did. Now, like I said, I'm trying to open my own clothing brand. We're working on trading mark at the moment, and then my sister helped me out. I came with the idea. She drew it, going back and forth mindset. And in reality, that's something I really want to focus on. Actually, at the same time, we did this podcast. And I was like, let's do it. Like, again, getting out of my comfortable zone, because yes, I don't smile. Yes, you maybe see me smile here, but it took this long for actually people to see me smile. So, again, it's just getting off the comfortable zone. So I do have a job at the moment, a 9 to 8, we'd say, or 8 to 5 job. But it's just really I'm like a reporter. I do it for a sprinkler company. So the engineers give me the product. I tell them what's good, what's bad. Then they do their fix, or, whatever they need. I'm just there like their charlan, como dicen in Spanish almost, but.
So you do more diagnosis.
Yeah, I do diagnosis, and I kind of still repair it at the same time. So, like you told me when we met, it's almost like that field can take you anywhere. You can choose your path wherever you want to choose, to plumber, to anything, construction. I mean, you just have the basis, and in reality, you have to be open to actually do it and adapt, like you said. That was very powerful word when it came out of your mouth. I was like, very true. You have to adapt.
Yeah, there's a lot of jobs that having the automotive background, you can perform a lot of jobs
Yeah.
you wouldn't even think of.
Mhm.
They even have mechanics to work at the gym for the machines.
Right? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, sadly to say, I do have like, it doesn't matter the price of the tools, but they are sitting there. But I think, thankfully for those 10 years I was there in that business, that prepared me to actually try and open a business. So the mechanic wise, yes, I'll actually, the reason why I asked you, hey, if he gets it done, as long as, he sends it out, it's because unfortunately I have to do that right now. So I was like, let me ease it up a little bit. Look, like, it's fine to let somebody kind of send out the work to get done, because, and it all depends, where their mindset's at. I mean, if it's because you're lazy and they want to do it, well, yeah, I mean, I would see it as like, come on, like, why would I have to do it? But if they're busy, they have a mindset, and they need to get some other thing done, there's nothing wrong with just sending it out, get it fixed. But yeah, that's a little bit about myself.
How about you, Junior?
Oh. Like, what do I do right now as a career path? I am, believe it or not, a truck driver. And so I drive the big 53 footers. Here and there I'll drive a day cab, and it's a light work day. But my day-to-day basis, I drive a 53 footer in a day cab. For me, it's funny to say it, but for me, like, local runs are like going to Bakersfield and back, Shafter, stuff like that. It's like it's up almost like in the middle of California, like, and I go and I come back within my 8 hours. Hopefully within, if traffic is smooth. That's why I like to leave early. I wake up early, and I hit it like around 4 in the morning, just barely. And I'll be back. I'll be done by like 12:30 in the day. Go home. And I enjoy it a lot. Like, I really do. It's something that fills me up with energy. It makes me happy. I don't think how do you say it? I don't complain about what I do. Like, this is one of the first careers. Well, it's my first career. But I felt like I chose the right one, luckily, and I think it because it had to tie down with something with wheels, and I love cars. I love, you know, I grew up with the whole, you know, also Fast and the Furious era and fixing up cars and stuff like that. It just didn't. I didn't, like Junior said earlier, like I didn't put one to one together. It just, when I kind of realized that I like doing this, that it was already because I was ready to move on from what I used to do. I used to work at a wiring company, and we used to distribute wire. So I was there for a couple years, almost 10 years, and I did everything, like from parts, learning, you know, rows and rows and rows of parts, to, you know, cutting wire, learning about twisting, learning about printing, learning about striping, even learning about codes. We used to do a lot of codes for wire harnesses for like the police department for Riverside County, San Bernardino County, Ontario, Upland, all that. So we learned a lot of codes, and I also got to take on the role of being within time, like, you know, moving up in that warehouse. I got to be the driver for the company. So that's what got started for me, like to get me out there. I was driving a smaller truck, didn't require a Class A, didn't have air brakes. It was just a regular, you know, like kind of like a flatbed. And it, like, I was having fun at the beginning because it was something new. But then after a couple of years of doing it, it just kind of like, man, when I was driving down the road, I was like, I used to see these big rigs just pass me, and in my mind, like, I would see like just money passing by. Not because of like, how do I put it? Like, it's just more like I'm losing out on something that I feel like I want to do. And as soon as I did it, I kind of just forgot about the money. Like, it wasn't, that wasn't like the lo importante para mí. It was just doing it and learning. Every day I'd be learning and challenging myself to know, to, you know, to dock and dock in places that are very, very strange and hard. I would even have to dock. I feel now, at this point, right now, that I dock better with my blind side than with my side that I see. Because as a truck driver, you can only see when you're backing up on the driver's side. You can't see on the passenger side because the only thing you would see is the box, because you block it. You block your own mirror with the box when you're backing up. So it is a challenge, and it's fun. I don't like to consider myself as like, oh, I got this. Yeah, I'm good. You know, I don't like to consider myself as an excellent driver because that could cause me an accident. And out of the responsibility that I have to me and to others is to, you know, drive safe and keep others safe as well. At least what's in my hands. And I don't consider myself a good driver, like an expert at it, not a good driver, an expert, because I don't want to cause an accident, or that confidence could cost me an accident that I will regret.
You can become complacent.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. So, and then, yeah. So I mean, that's what I do now. And then this podcast as well. I feel like this is a challenge for myself, out of my comfort zone. I definitely need to work on this as well. But little by little, like you said, I'm not gonna fall back. I'm not gonna, you know, feel down, feel bad about myself because I didn't say it the way I wanted to say it. But you live and you learn, and you have to keep moving forward. And so, like I said, you inspired me to keep moving, keep reaching for your goals, keep having that hustle mentality and focus. The tunnel vision, that's a very popular one to hear. The tunnel vision is very important. Your tunnel vision seems like you're very close to the end of that tunnel. And it's just like maybe to start a new one. So I'm very, very happy and honored that you got to come in our little space here. And like Jay say, well, this is your podcast as well. You can feel free to come back whenever you want. I hope there's a part 2, maybe within some time, so you can let us know, keep us updated what's going on with you, and we hope to stay in touch with you because, like Jay said, we want to surround ourselves by leaders.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate that you guys have me here. It's really cool, and I never thought I was gonna be in a podcast, and I'm shy and I'm camera shy and I get stage fright, and it looks like I'm kind of not even nervous.
So as you should.
Yes, thank you. And thank you all the viewers that have seen our last episodes, the likes, the comments. Comment down below, maybe we do the second podcast with Sandra. Maybe those questions you have for her, we can ask next time. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button.
Yes,
to help the algorithm here for us. I think with that being said, thank you, Ricky,
Thanks,
for
Ricky.
being here too. We will wrap it up here at Last One y Nos Vamos. Have a
Thank
good
you.
one.